Hey, my lovely people, a pleasant afternoon to everybody. Beautiful people, I'm going to keep it very real with you. Maybe I'm the only one, but I'm not afraid to admit it. I struggle with the opinions of people. I think what has happened, and when I say that, let me say it within reason. Not really everybody, but in some ways, everybody. Subliminally, at the back of my mind, I still care if they think that I'm no good, or it's just something that falls under not being good or not being adequate. I don't know why. I think what has happened over the years is that our foreparents, they have taught us you don't want to look a particular way, so you need to dress some ways when you're on the road. Have you ever noticed, especially like my generation, I've often said to people that based on the tree lineage and how the generational status goes, it seems as if I'm in the early stages of the fairly early stages of the millennials. And when you look, so the people before me, the generation before me, they would always tell us you have to be careful of what you wear on the road, how you look, how you smell. You don't want to wear torn or worn or tattered undergarments, because in case you should fall down or you need to be hospitalized. When they take your clothes off, they will see you in good undergarments, good underwear, and all of these things. Don't say this because this person will think this way of you. Don't do that. Don't do that because people will look down on you. And what has happened is that seed has been watered and it has become like it's a bohemian tree. Is which tree? There's a tree that starts with a B. I know you have the palm trees, the cedar trees that can weather certain storms, but there is a particular tree that even when the time is extremely dry, it stands the test of time for years. And what has happened is that we now care about what people think. So we end up not doing things we really want to do, and we do things we don't want to do, because we really care. The back of your mind, I don't want that person. I have to defend myself. I have to let them know that I'm really a good person. And I found myself doing that. I have been, culpable where that is concerned, guilty where that is concerned, trying to prove to people, look here, my heart actually means this. And it was until somebody took a dagger and pushed it in my back. And when I was saying, look here, no, I am actually meaning you well, believe me, I am telling you the truth, they said, I don't care. They said, I don't care. Leave me the F alone. I don't care if you're even likened me onto a prostitute. Let me tell you, when that happened, I said, mighty God, I need to follow what the book I'm reading now. Well, to be honest, people, I'm reading 7 books, not including a sort of prayer one. I didn't call that, I'm reading the book, yes, but it's more for prayer. It's like a guided prayer. So I didn't count that in the 6 books that I'm reading, simultaneously. So I read a certain number of pages, in one book, then move to the next and move to the next and so on, so that I can get different types of books. You know what I mean? It's like when you have your 5-course meal, you need your vegetables, you need your healthy carbohydrates, you need your protein, and you need a little fat. All of the different things you need, to keep a healthy body. It's the same with the mind. And I'm reading one of the books, Let Them by Mel Robbins. Sometimes I almost make a mistake to call her Mel. What that man name again that did The Passion of the Christ, and he's in a number movie. Mel Gibbons or or whatever his name is. And she said, let them think the worst of you. Let them think the worst possible thing that they can think of. Jesus was and is all perfect, no blemish. And they made up lies about him. That is why I tell you, be careful of the things that you're hearing about these superstars. People are maliciously and malignantly jealous and envious of people, because they know that more than likely they're never going to be wealthy and famous like that. So they're going to tear them down. and your eyes will begin to see false things. So they say that they're this, their sexual orientation is this. You start to see things that are not, that does not even exist, that do not even exist. So you have to be very careful. And they said that Jesus had the spirit of Beelzebub, which is the chief of Satan. And all he did, he confounded them, with a simple analogy. He said, listen, he's saying Satan hates God so much, vehemently, without a doubt. And he is going to preach about the kingdom of God and getting there while preaching about his kingdom and getting to his own. Does that make any sense to you? And when he said that to them in his way, that is when they really looked in and said, all right, he has a point. I think we blundered big time here. And I look at the fact, them pee clock, they just was on him like white on rice, trying to find and catch him in something negative or illegal or immoral, and they could never do that at no point in time, but they just decided that, what, we're going to get him one way, we don't care, we're just going to get him. But the point that I'm making is, beautiful people, let people just think the worst about you. Can't. Let me tell you, doing good to people means absolutely nothing to the person that you're doing good for. In some instances, perhaps in many instances, very few people are grateful and thankful. Was it the story of the who was it? The 10 foolish, you had 5 foolish virgins and 5, but there was a story of 10, it was the 10 lepers. I don't want to confuse the story, but whichever of the 10, I think it was only one that came back and told Jesus, thank you. I don't want to confuse. I think it's the 10 lepers, because the reason why I said 10, because they had 5 foolish virgins and 5 wise ones, so I don't think it's that story, but it's like the 10 and one, one came back, 10%, of the 10 came back and said, thank you. So it tells a story that most people are not grateful. Most people are not thankful. In fact, people will hate you because you're good. They actually are angered by the fact that you're not evil, so that they can say, yes, she or she is evil as I am. So, I feel good. I feel rested in myself. I feel secure. And not me one alone wicked. And not me one alone immoral or unlawful. She or he as well. So the more you're good in some instances for the instant moment, the more seemingly bad will be happening to you. And the more bad you do, the more seemingly good will happen to you for the moment, until you go into that temple and God shows you the destruction of the latter. Let them. You need to read that book by Mel Robbins. Let them think the worst. And I'm not going to tell you that overnight I'm going to hurdle it, but little by little I'm going to get there. Because I'm putting my mind there, I'm sowing that seed, I'm, being intentional with that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that if I feel led to say, no, that's not true, I didn't say that, or I didn't do that, or that was not my motive. That is a let me part, because our book is not just let them, it's about let me. But this constant having to defend or no. So if for you I'm your villain, then let me stay your villain. Thank God. Less malady, less malevolence, less problems in my life. So think that way. If you feel good and comfortable not liking me, all the best to you are not liking me. If you feel good in spreading propaganda, just be careful though. Just ensure it's not a legal issue. But if you feel like you want to say she go on like she this and that and ridiculous, fine. You think the worst you want to think. That's okay. Thank God we are not friends, because you probably would make my life a living nightmare as what you're doing to other people at this present moment. So fine. So beautiful people, I want to encourage you. You can't fight. If they did it to Jesus, who is all perfect, what more you that is flawed, like myself. Let them, but let you. As she says, let me. You have to know when to hold, when to fold, when to walk, when to run. It's a balanced way of living. All right? Yes, my wonderful people. To do read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thank you.